gank. And I think they'll need to do that. I hope also that Quinn thinks about rotating to the Beastmaster lane. Not let him get that tower at 7 minutes or whatever. Like, make it hard for him to play. Like, you have the Bane ready there to set up, then you can either just TP in with the Leshrac or run there.
Right,
And,
yeah. I like the sound of that.
Do something like that.
Break apart the pace of the game a little bit here, as it's going to be game one between Evil Geniuses and Soniqs. The last meeting back in July over in the US East region. Now over to Singapore. A little bit more on the line here. Best of 2 series, of course, between the 2 teams. We'll be seeing who is going to be off to, well, maybe a draw even, but this game one, maybe a little bit of pride over for the NA region.
All right, both teams smoking up here. I believe EG are heavily favored, you know, if they fight there. Soniqs very brave running up here.
Arteezy is going to be the one to break the smoke. Undying having already taken that point in decay, so not really too much, but in they go actually onto MSS. Abed now with the onslaught in. Yao's spinning to win, but they're actually on top of Crit, and Quinn, he's been surrounded and killed. Undying, like you say, Fly picking up 12 strength now is onto Yawar. They go 2 boars already out. There's plenty of poison and slows as Evil Geniuses will hold. Going to be Soniqs will fall 2-0 in the early game.
Oh, and yeah, we get the little settings pause there. Very confusing for me what they were doing there. When you see an Undying like this, like, and you run up 5 heroes together, like, look, he has 16 strength. If he was more ready, like, I don't know what he was doing. He was standing in kind of an off position. He gets like a 4 or 5 man decay straight up, right? And that's 1000 HP Undying with like 90 damage. And I mean, yeah, you see what happened there. They just, what are they gonna do? They can't do anything. And now, unfortunately, too, Fata plopped this ward down, and they saw it under their own vision, so they're gonna get dewarded as well. It's a very rough start here for Soniqs.
We will not forget.
Yeah, rune control is going to be a bit off now for Evil Geniuses, right? We are expecting that Undying bottom. Maybe he won't rotate so much, but certainly it'll make contesting runes much more difficult for Quinn. You say, yeah, that was a bit scary. Fly, who was a little bit on the right, maybe he was going to block a camp or something like that with his sentry ward out from the smoke. But yeah, I mean, still good enough positioning there for EG. Arteezy just backing up. Really, to me, it's the onslaught, and this is kind of the strength of this hero, right? Primal Beast. He kind of just charges on in, and he completely disrupts positioning there for Soniqs. I think maybe there's a chance that they at least get first blood with like a full duration level 1 spin off and a couple of brain saps and what have you, but just no chance there with the Primal basically isolating the Jug and Quinn from the rest of the team.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's say the positive for Soniqs then. Drown Ranger skilled Gust, and I think, yeah, that's it. Because another issue here is that Abed got first blood, right? So he basically almost has bottle already. Yeah. Makes it, oh, EG, maybe they won't even get this word. They're getting kind of bamboozled there.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. Looks like they
missed it. Okay, nice. Okay, so that's another positive for Soniqs.
Testing a bit versus Crit. Fly, eager to fight still with a little bit of bonus strength remaining. Pardon me, he's already down to half mana, but he is a mango enjoyer. He's now shipping out his 4th mango for this laning stage.
Yeah. Okay, so they are laning the Bane bottom. I still think Undying is too strong though, but we'll see. And the Gust came in handy. Arteezy secured a 3rd rune, so they got 3 bounties as well as 2 kills. So 1k gold up, 30 seconds in, pretty nice.
Feels pretty good, that one. Abed, especially with the first blood bonus, he's of course leading in net worth. Not by much, but it'll be an earlier bottle here versus all the magic damage that Quinn's going to be pumping out. Top lane goes on sailing through and only finds the range creep. Fly already getting involved, getting just brawl heavy as you'd expect. As I think Fata, yes, he's blocked the easy camp and made sure that the hard camp is not blocked by ward. Of course, he can't do much versus the tanky Undying, who stands there and body blocks it. So the lanes are going to push here slightly for Arteezy. See how much Fata is going to do. As a result, of course, this does put the Marcy up top lane, where she's going to quickly jump onto a creep. It still gets denied, actually, by Nightfall there, but Unless is doing as much as he can here to make some space early for Yawar.
Yeah, they're doing fine so far. There's just like a very hard timing here when Beast hits, especially level 5. these boars are probably going to be too strong for Juggernaut, unless you have like a really big lead, which I don't see you getting.
Yeah, and down bottom now, like you said, Gus taking level 1, not what you generally see for a mid lane, or sorry, a safe lane Drow. Up to level 2 already, so has the frost arrows and a little bit more harass to assist Fly and making sure that, of course, Arteezy can get off to a great start.
Yep.
Mid, Abed worse for wear as well, but not doing as well as Quinn in these early couple of levels. And has taken a bit of a beating, but he's got a water rune for him down bottom, so he'll be able to heal up and sustain a bit more in this lane.
Yeah, I mean, he should be really happy that he got that first blood. Like, it makes a big difference for him. Because he already has to ferry out the Sal, right? Because Quinn just keeps hitting him. So that this extra 300 net for it is huge.
Water rune active. Primal Beast drinking water. Growling as such is the most primal of actions for him, I'm sure. It's a decent start for him. He's going to be going for earlier boots here versus Quinn. Doesn't really need much stats with the impressive strength gain that this hero has at 4.3 tankiest hero in the entire game in that regard.
So right now, Arteezy has to be a little careful, right? Because he can easily get slept and skewered here. And like, this is the... Okay, so there
you go. But Fly. Saving a skill point here. Skewer under tower for Arteezy. The Gus back, and Arteezy's running towards the Dire base here. They're going to pull him back with Shockwave for a second, but they have the kill.
Very surprised he got caught by that. That's like literally the only thing they can do. But that's... I like what Soniqs have done there here with the lanes. I was a little like hesitant if the Bane would be enough, but it seems like he really made up for how strong Undying is in this lane.
Yeah, and even, you know, again, looking at the other lane and how that affects things, I'm not sure how much kill potential there is here. Well, now they have at least spin level 2, but rebound and into a stun, move speed for the Juggernaut into his spit is almost exactly what you're looking for. It does seem like there's more you can do here between a Nightmare and a Skewer for Leslau, at least, compared to like Nightmare into spin, which allows Jug to get positioning, but you'd rather have that move speed slow. You'd rather have that ton. And speaking of move speed, in goes MSS towards the mid lane. Looks to rotate on it, has the dispose. Quinn looking to set up the stun, will find it. Abed takes a death mid.
Very nice, exactly what they need to be doing. And perfect here, he's gonna get 2 water runes. Like, this is huge. Like, this is really bad for Abed. Because when Leshrac hits 6 before you, it's very common he just runs you down with Pulse Nova, right? Like, it's so early in the game. And like, if you TP in as a support, he just kills you too.
You know, I'm starting to think a little bit here, Pi. But maybe this is the best way you can play your early game as a support versus Undying, right? I mean, I think something that you can certainly do that he's not going to be able to kind of counter you at is rotate, especially towards the mid lane. Undying just doesn't feel as strong unless he's like maybe maxing Tombstone in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, I think Fly has played a little too passive. He should have been hitting a lot more, like manning up versus Bane, fighting him. But, I mean, I would have to analyze the lane deeper to be really sure what was going on there. But I'm a little surprised they've done as well as they have.
Almost a little bit of a tri-lane down bottom for a couple of seconds as both supports actually, both teams find themselves in that area. But now as we look towards the minute 6 power runes, yep, they're going to go again mid. Onto Abed, there's a stun, there's still another dispose, no onslaught for a few more seconds, and that's a second kill now onto Abed.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is what happens, right? And this is exactly what we talked about them needing to do. Like, these quick rotations. Because Marcy's like, yeah, the Juggernaut will suffer a bit, but I'll do way more running around the map than sitting up there.
Yeah. Sure, and Yao is able to pull just fine. The Boars trying to intercept the wave, will get most of them, so some pretty good micro there by Nightfall to make sure he's able to, you know, get most of the experience in gold. A nice job. You know, again, like we said earlier, with mana, Lesh has certainly enough damage to almost kill anyone in the game, and he just needs that little +1 to make sure that can actually happen. Looks like EG, though, are going to be able to get their hands on this power rune. MSS is rotating on over, and actually he's going to snag the PD away. Might pay for that with his life, and he will.
Yeah.
But, denies the full refill on the power rune here for Abed.
Yeah. No, so EG really want their 6 now on Primal Beast. Because that's the... I guess they have Roar too. Because they've left Beastmaster alone now, so he's got quite a bit of experience. But before they have these 2 ultimates, it's way harder for Mirana to play. Because there's no setup for her arrow, right?
Very true.
Yeah, a little smoke here. Okay, nice. So here, now they're gonna try to get this Beastmaster.
Oh,
let's
looks
see,
like crit. Yeah, he's gonna break the smoke. They're gonna go onto him. A leap charge away, dispose into the stun. Perfectly calculated there by Soniqs.
Nice.
I'm gonna set up for a kill, and Quinn's still thinking about going top. Thinking about it, at least allows MSS to get into the triangle here and plant a ward, which doesn't block the camp, but will scout any stacks that end up happening here.
Yeah. Like without a smoke, it's very uncomfortable to run top, right? Like you're just gonna be scouted by a hawk or something.
And Nightfall already fairly
Lord.
tanky, level 6, as there it is. He beats Juggernaut to the punch. Oh, and the arrow setup is there as Crit rotates on back over and collects the first 2 of his earn charges. Nightfall immediately getting to work on this tier 1 tower. Quinn doesn't want to let this one go so fast, and there's that rotation we were talking about earlier. And oh yeah, he cleans up creeps real quick, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bottom though is where Abed instead is going to rotate to. Nice rotation here. You see the enemy rotate top. You go ahead and run back down bottom.
Yeah. And I want to say that like Soniqs have played this very well, but if you look at the gold and the farm, EG are still very comfortable, right? This Juggernaut has suffered, not been a good lane versus Beastmaster. So yeah.
What would your analysis be on this bottom lane here, especially for how difficult we were thinking this one was looking out of the gates with a Magnus Marcy up against an Undying? How would you say that has fared for Soniqs?
No, they should be very happy with that. Like Drow Ranger still has decent farm, right? But it's not oh, okay, he should be fine. It's still not been absolutely free, and the Magnus has kept up. Like he's basically the same net worth. So this is a lane they should be happy with. Like they were never gonna win it, right? Unless our TC kept getting slept skewered into tower.
Skewered under, he learns that'll happen. You only catch our TZ with skewer under tower though once. No one catches our TZ twice. That's right. And well, it's level 6 first for Lelis, who is still 1v2ing down here. And the reason I brought this up, right, is because this is some condition, right, for the Juggernaut to kind of get a little bit back in this game. The cleave no longer as powerful as it used to be on your allies, but it's still going to be a kind of farm accelerant here for the Juggernaut, who, again, has been struggling. You know, are still only actually level 5, about to get level 6 off of this mid wave, but didn't really have an easy time. And in fact, just to show, Nightfall's already starting to push top with the Troll Summoner creeps. Both heroes bottom though for Soniqs.
They do have a lane ward. Yeah, so RTC knows this is happening.
And he's gonna do well to get the heck out of here.
Yeah, for sure. No, because now you see Beastmaster basically takes the top tower by himself, so you do want to get this tower here bottom back for it, but
yeah, and Soniqs actually, they maybe were keen to defend top lane, but Crit actually puts down this lane ward behind the tower that scouted Quinn. So Nightfall just farms a couple of camps and waits for Quinn to leave. As soon as they see Quinn TPing bottom with their other lane ward, he moves in and immediately takes on the tower. So good map movements overall by EG during that sequence of events, even though there's no action, quote unquote, on screen.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a nice little rotation back to mid there. Let's see if okay, never mind. I thought he was going to try to sleep, but it's scary here. There is this roar, there is pulverized into arrow, so
I've been the onslaught from Abed.
No, but you look at this tower going down, right? Dark Troll Summoner with Inner Beast, it just melts.
Oh, and they're TPing top. They want to get a kill on the Yawa, but he's going to read this one coming, and he TPs away in time before Nightfall can close the gap for a Primal Roar. Back down bottom, Lelis and Yawa are now getting to work on this tier 1 bottom, so nice rotation from Soniqs, at least picking up their first tower of the game.
Yeah, but then with Soniqs getting this tower, I think the map save is actually pretty nice for them. Like this clears it up for Juggernaut, he can farm all of this. They're gonna have Ancient stacks coming up. I think Fata will sit around mid, stack Ancients. And yeah, I think they should be decently happy with this. I think Magnus will end up slightly underfarmed, but that will be fine. So I think they should be happy right now.
You look at the core to core, and Yawa is doing just fine compared to the Drow Ranger for now, and I might say we should expect him to get a little bit more of a lead as here he goes to farm some stacks with Empower. There's MSS and Fata stacking again, so it's going to be a quad stack of the hard camp and a triple stack on Ancients.
Yeah, maybe a little early to do this, but level 4 Empower, so maybe it's okay.
The Sonic supports just acting as a buffer right now to the triangle. They're actually going to scout that Hawk with the Sentry and Observer as they see Abed trampling around in the mid lane.
Yeah, unfortunately for Quinn. Okay, so Quinn goes out here. Yeah, good. Like if Quinn has to sit in the bushes, that's not good. You gotta let this man farm.
This could be a move. I don't know if anyone got picked up on that Sentry Ward that Soniqs have, but they are going to be under vision for the ward.
They seem to know, right? They're pinging it out.
That's a quick deal where, of course, they only needed the sentry there. They had the Hawk there for vision.
Okay, they're smoking back. They want to fight this. But EG are getting out. Okay.
Yawar's going to continue to recover here, actually. Did go for that Midas, so on top of course, the Empower that I've been so keen to bring up, he also has a Midas now to continue accelerating his farm.
Yeah. Both teams being very disciplined there. Like, they're basically 5 heroes farming at the stack, right? They don't want to get picked off.
Dangerous trade as well for Abed into the bottle. For him goes that haste rune, which with trample is going to be a bit more damage for him.
Yeah. No, so kind of an even game right now. This Midas and Grab, we'll see. There's a bit of a Ramsey special. He always does this. Like obviously, you'll be more farmed than you would have been like in 10 minutes. But for now, he's very, very weak.
Let's talk about first items as well, because of course, I think the only hero, I brought this up earlier in LCQs, but you keenly pointed out, really only the Lash just builds this item, isn't it, right? First item, Bloodstone for him right out of the gate.
Yeah. No, it's super strong. It basically gives you, like, you become more tanky. Okay, wait, they're going bottom here.
Yeah, an RP, but I think that's just a disengage.
Yeah. Now, so back to the Bloodstone. It gives you more tankiness, and it also gives you sustain. Because every creep wave, like, you're basically going to be spamming this item. So every creep wave you farm, you'll activate it, and you'll gain more mana than you spent killing it. And that's how you'll play. Okay, they're pinging Roche. Yeah, I think EG are getting a little frustrated. They could have farmed the map a bit more efficiently, I believe. Like, RTC is very poor. Not very poor. He's slightly more poor than he should be. So they'll go pick this up, which I think is a good move.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is very fast. All 5 heroes on the Roche pit, buffed a little bit here by all 6 rallies of the Skellies. Of course, that damage amplification as well from Fly's Flesh Golem, almost forgetting the Aegis. There we go into the inventory of Abed.
Yeah.
That's a fast Roche here, especially without the threat of an RP. They feel very confident and they take it.
Yeah. No, so I'm just curious to if both teams will be happy with the state of the game, right? Because then we can see both teams just farming, or if EG are gonna smoke up or just go together and try to push the tower. Because they do have Undying, they have Tombstone. They have, okay, so they have Helm of the Overlord now too on Nightfall. So they do have some nice items.
Yeah, they're coming along pretty nicely here. Abed as well, nearly at his first BKB. I think the only weakness, the only glaring weakness we've seen for EG is Tombstone is only level 2.
Yeah.
Not as much, perhaps, early fighting as an Undying would really want, which is basically unlimited fights, assuming he has mana. So it's a little bit lower level here on the Tombstone, but I think either way, and of course they're not going to wait for Fly to get more levels, and they go into the smoke and likely into the enemy triangle.
Okay. It should be very hard to catch this Jug. Like, immediately when the smoke breaks, he'll spin and face boot and run. So I don't know how you catch him. It's a bit optimistic here.
Roar into arrow would have to be basically right there and on the mark. Without a blink dagger yet here for Nightfall, it's feel a bit difficult. Since of course he's gonna be going for some more stats first. Love the efficiency of these pro players, by the way. Just 3 Ironwood branches here to maximize all slots for Nightfall. He's not leaving his inventory empty. No way, man.
Yeah. Okay, Lessler set up down here. RP ready. He's got Blink Dagger.
Real here for Soniqs. Could look to equalize here, maybe gain a bit of advantage. It's the Ancient Black Dragon now pushing pretty effectively here with that Fireball and the bonus attack speed.
Yeah, but this is good for them. Like, yeah, they're playing very passive, and their Juggernaut will just free farm top.
Manta's on the way for him. Arteezy as well continues to farm up. He's going to look to upgrade, it looks like, into the full Hurricane Pike. Force Staff next. Jug into Manta style. Has enough for the Yasha. It's flying his way now, but an Ultimate Orb and that recipe. So they're coming along fairly evenly. Yawar starting to really break up ahead thanks to Empower and Midas. Easy, not falling behind too much.
Yeah. With Spirit Vessel and Mirana coming soon. It's pretty good early here versus Leshrac. Won't let him be invulnerable with this Bloodstone. Yeah, so basically when you click the Bloodstone, right, you almost have 100% spell magic lifesteal. Spirit Vessel really lessens that.
And no sorts of Dispel yet for Soniqs, right, to get rid of that Of course, only the Jug can dispel himself, so he doesn't have to be too concerned with that. But yeah, against the Healing Ward and against the Bloodstone Lash, as you say, certainly is going to be quite valuable to reduce that healing. Quinn next going for the Blink Dagger. He's actually almost got it already, and maybe with this creep, it's a pretty big wave. He might have the money here for it if he gets that wagon.
Yeah, better hit this last hit, brother.
Yeah, don't miss it, Quinn. The world's watching. But he'll get his Blink Dagger here, I'm sure. There it is. Shy of 20 golds. BG not really too eager to look for fights. They're going to get that last tier 1 down bottom, so the map quite open for them to be making moves. Continue to farm up, and Abed now with BKB on his way towards him might look to kick things off here while they still have Aegis on the Primal for another 2 minutes.
Yeah. Now, so Yawar is definitely not looking to fight, right? He's the last hero who wants to fight. The rest of Soniqs, I think they're like, they will be down. They're kind of ready. Yeah, smoking up here. Like they kind of have what they want.
Maybe trying to bait Quinn as he does farm a wave underneath the ward. Of course, he knows that they have vision of the wave. He's going to actually go a little bit further into the jungle while Fly is ready to intercept here this smoke gank. Fanta, his smoke will break. Does get the ward up now onto the high ground. Nightmare and Grip onto one and another. They're going to be able to get the tombstone dropped, however, in time. So Soniqs are going to have to get out, as you were saying.
Yeah. No, that would be a very suspicious moment to fight. Like he still has Aegis for a minute. BKB on Primal.
Now no grip here for this kind of defense. Quinn, of course, is going to collect that gold off of the Ancient Black Dragon. Easy money for him.
Yeah, and Yawar very happy with this. Like he just gets to see every hero on the map a bit, and that means he can keep farming.
I mean, with confidence. What Arteezy has at least been able to do, it's been his team looking to set the tempo and being a little bit more aggressive on the enemy side of the map. He's maybe a little bit sore that Nightfall keeps stealing an Ancient from him every now and then, but ultimately it's not going to affect his net worth too much. And you can actually see he's actually gone for the Frost Arrow Shard earlier. I think this used to be called Permafrost or Hypothermia or something like that. It is still called Hypothermia. So this is also going to further reduce that healing that we're talking about.
Yeah. Maybe it helps him to clear creeps too. Because otherwise I don't see what, so you see here, using the multi-shot on a wave, it just blows up. Because otherwise there's no way Arteezy would get this shard. It was only to reduce healing, like no way.
Fair enough, right? It's a farming tool. All right.
Look mid here, just Leshrac cleaning up these creeps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's another, this 500 gold in the past 1 minute from just ancient creeps.
That's a tanky creep as well, right? He comes with the HP aura, so... Just in case it wasn't clear enough, Flesh, he can certainly melt these kinds of units and heroes. Not much problem.
Yeah, no, very passive game. And EG have actually snuck up to a 2k gold lead here. They're farming the maps a bit more efficiently. That's to be expected, right? They have Hawks, they have Aegis, EKB on Primal. And Soniqs have this one hero that really don't want to fight the Juggernaut.
Yeah. Quinn's next item as well, it's a bit more of an interesting one. The Ag Scepter Nihilism. Compared to the last time we really saw Lesh, hold that thought actually. Ooh, he blinks out in time. Fata, will he be as lucky as EG? There's smoke. It's starting to expire. The jump back in from MSS, but they've mistimed that one. Oh no, he did commit it. Now he's going to get the ulti, the RP whiffed. As in goes Abed now. He still has his BKB. There he goes, right onto the Leshrac now. With even Arteezy joining this fight from the back, but the healing ward still active. No, not enough heals there for Quinn. He is taken down. Fata doing what he can, but out of mana. The Hypothermia stacks now getting to him. Nightfall with 2 kills there. Soniqs just a bit flubbing the initiation there on their own high ground, or on their own cliff there.
Yeah, not the most pretty sight, right? Yeah, so like the thing when you're playing these slow games, you have to really hit that fight when you want to fight. You can't because you see he sleeps him right, and then that makes the Marcy stun not hit. Yeah, we'll see here. Yeah, so the sleep he jumps, it doesn't hit, and now Magnus goes in, and that's the problem. Like he just has to accept that he cannot go in here. And him going in, just getting roared, missing the RP leads to Quinn dying, and I think Fanta dies too, right? Yep. And that's a lot of gold.
Some more damage dealt there as well. Mid-tier 2 tower taken down. Lickety split for EG. And maybe even they feel confident enough to go for a tier 2 top. Quinn is here. He wants to farm another 300 or 250 gold here from the Ancient Thunder Hive. Gonna go down pretty easily. This one will go actually towards Yawar, who is still not joining these fights, right? He was still farming there throughout that fight, throughout that replay even. Has now a full Manta style to show for it and a magic stick.
Yeah. No, so basically now the Roche will just be harder to contest, right? Like these Hawks, if EG ever get control of the dire jungle, they can take the outpost since they got the tower. They're now also like 3k gold more up than they would have been otherwise. So like you just set yourself up a bit worse here, but you can certainly still win fights. Like that, I mean, that was not a fair fight, right?
No.
They didn't hit a single spell.
Didn't come together there for Soniqs. A bit frustrating. Maybe now they're going to be looking to make another go at things here. Fiend's Grip coming off cooldown now, but it's EG who actually make the first move as they will smoke over towards their jungle and out towards the mid lane. Blink Dagger now on Primal Beast alongside his long duration BKB, and he's going to be very pleased to find that. An Arcane Rune, maybe even trying to bait it here.
But that's Blink, so finally they're using creations. Yeah.
Mini onslaught setups for the arrow. That's already a lopsided fighting. Quinn now being grabbed. Nice job there to interrupt it out. Doesn't activate the BKB, but there's going to be the roar on to Quinn. Lawless as well with the RP, but it's only going to catch Fly. Lawless trying to get out of here with the TP away. It's going to abandon Quinn in this fight. Yawar as well has shown up to this one. He's going to look for the spin out. They've already used the roar, but they almost get him with the physical damage there, Pi.
Yeah, very close.
And Assess at least will cut through Quinn. So it's only a 2-for-1 trade, of course, as they also find the Bane towards the start of that one in favor of EG, but difficult fights here for Sonic so far.
Yeah, they just don't seem, especially with the Primal BKB, right? Like, they don't have enough damage to kill him right now. The Juggernaut Omnislash, not quite what you want it to be. And also, everything was just a bit awkward, right? Like, Quinn still dies too easily. Like, they have nothing to save him, especially when the Bane is dead and can't sleep him.
A gift from the night.
So he just kind of melts.
And now EG, they're happy to just wait for next Roche and start playing things, I imagine, for them a little bit more clinically, right? Because always how EG has tended to play in a lot of their Division 1 NA games during the DPC leagues, kind of establish an early lead from the lanes. Of course, this one, not really too much of a blossoming lead, only really up to 2k, but has in the past couple of minutes now on up to 6k. Take over the map control and just take things cleanly and slowly here.
Yeah, no, very comfortable here. As we said, they got the outpost now, so they have complete control of Dire Jungle. Roche is spawning in 20 seconds. So it's going to be very hard to contest this. Running through all the Hawks, the wards.
I think a big shift here eventually is going to be when Yawar gets this Eye of Scotty online for his Juggernaut. Of course, that move and attack speed slow versus a Drow Ranger, allowing you to break her marksmanship passive. It's going to help a lot. But RTZ's got a couple tools to defend against that one already, right? The Shadow Blade, so you can join fights from awkward angles, maybe even get a pick off here, as EG have been keen to start their fights that way. Hurricane Pike as well, increase the gap.
Yeah.
There's some problematic items here already.
Yeah, I don't see them contesting this Roche. It should almost already be dead, right? Very quick.
Going down way too fast. Quinn, in the meantime, at least down bottom, pushing the tower, has finished up the money, or has accumulated the money, I should say, for his complete Acceptor. So his Nihilism now online to make him immune from physical damage.
Yeah.
Offer him a decent amount of protection in these fights, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just still a little confused how supposed to play this. He has to wait for all the big stuns to already be used, I feel. He has to join the fight a bit later.
Tabata, and he gets jumped on that again with the jump on and trampoline and killing him. He goes there towards RTZ.
Oh, Mojo in the bottom lane. But TP for him, he has haste.
Yeah, no running from this guy. Pulverize into the arrow setup. Spirit Vessel applied, Crit leaping in, and now that's onslaughting out. And the life of NSS.
Yeah, now EG are making this look easy right now.
9k and ready probably to push high ground now already. Looks like their sight's not quite yet set on that tier 2 bottom. Soniqs at least again with this brand new to them, Alesh Acceptor. Might be able to make a bit of a difference, but yeah, we're still only halfway towards his Eye of Scotty. He's in a little bit less. Now he's about halfway.
Yeah. No, so like they're down a lot of gold, right? But at least both Yawar and Quinn have kind of kept up in farm. It's only this Beastmaster that for some reason ballooned. It's like an old carry player playing offlane, right?
It's
just
true.
Very fat.
Yeah, richest hero in the game by far has Blink BKB now, so nothing really obstructing him from reaching whoever his main target needs to be and finding that roar. Been very effective at breaking apart these team fights. Leslau here, Lawless on the Magnus, having a bit of a difficult game, right? His first RP was used to simply escape a smoke gank. His second RP missed and ended up kind of drawing Soniqs into a bad fight. And his third RP only catching Fly after he had dropped Tombstone and was already Flesh Golem.
Yeah, that one was a bit not very good.
It's been rough for him, but perhaps things are going to look a little bit easier for them once they look to defend high ground and as their enemies choked into a bit more of a funnel for him.
Yeah. No, but at the end of the day, pushing this high ground might not be too easy. They have Skewer back, they have RP, like if you gather in group up too much.
Negan's grip might still be quite effective, especially if you try to onslaught or even blink towards the Bane on the back lines, if he's able to catch you.
Yeah.
You might be a bit too isolated for your allies to help you out.
Yeah, no, so Soniqs have this problem now that no hero wants to get gone on first or kind of go first. But hopefully, like if Marcy can finish her BKB, that will help a lot. Because then she can just go in first and give vision. Because like it's not good when Fata gets killed first, right? Like you want him very far back, so he can grip this primal.
How viable is it to just like rely on the buyback, for example, of this Marcy, right? Which she does have. Can you like look to leverage that in these fights and just say, I'll go in, tank a couple spells, you know, draw them in, maybe we get a good RP, I'll buy back and we take the fight from there? Is that like something you can start thinking about on those high ground defense, or is that...
I mean, on the high ground defense, for sure, you don't have a choice, right? They're pushing your base. But if the game was a little bit closer, yeah, they could have done that for the second Roche here.
Right.
That would have been a play for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, like you highlighted, right, not having control of the outpost does make making a play like that a bit too difficult. Soniqs, you're just smoke, and now even sneaking out of their base here. There's still Aegis for Arteezy for another 90 seconds now.
Yeah, so I feel like this is kind of what EG dream about, but let's see.
Maybe the multi-shot, that'll at least reveal the Drow Ranger's presence. Abed doing a great job of breaking smokes. There's going to be vision, though. They screw him away and into the hands of Yawar, but he doesn't make the jump immediately. Instead, there's going to be a grip onto Nightfall. Interrupted, though, as Abed flanks forward with a pulverize. Fata just dead. The RP from Lawless, and his dying breath does at least allow Yawar to get off a bit of an Omnislash, but the damage isn't nearly sufficient. They only get through crit there. But it's Arteezy who stands his ground and fights. 3 kills for him. He was untouched in that team fight.
Yeah, just standing on the high ground, spitting arrows. And now you just give them an easy high ground, right?
Seem to be that way. Couple buybacks ready to go for Soniqs. They do have a Fortify as well. That Aegis still on Arteezy here for 40 seconds. So by the time that they respawn here, Pi, still going to be able to stand on his high ground. Look at his attack speed already. My goodness, that Inner Beast aura.
Yeah, Inner Beast aura. He goes Vladimir aura. Marksmanship giving 62 agility. Yeah, stuff is just melting here.
Down it goes near the bottom. Perhaps even mid lane of Barracks. Still the richest hero in the game, by the way, is Nightfall.
Yeah, I don't see... Okay, so maybe... Alright, they'll relax a bit. But I feel like they could keep going. I guess the Skewer is still scary, so there's no need to...
Another look at that fight there along the replay here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's just nothing hitting, right? Like, at this point, Quinn is dealing a lot of damage here, but the 3 heroes do the Delta split, right? And the Drow Ranger ends up being too far away, and she just kills him in 3 hits.
An effort there. Oh, Arteezy in trouble, actually. Quinn, oh, he gets the 4-step up to the high ground. Can they find the sun in time?
No way.
Not from Quinn. The Gust is going to prevent him from canceling the TP. Would have been a massive opening there for Soniqs, who did time that nicely with the Aegis expiring. Arteezy finds himself out of a pickle there.
Oh yeah, that's very unfortunate. You really need that kill. Other news though, Fata has collected 6 healing salves. Quite impressive.
Yeah, is he holding the shovel? Yes, he is. Also, curiously enough, he's holding onto this Medallion of Courage and is building into Solar Crest. Not an item I see a whole lot these days, but I suppose when it's, you know, all eggs on the jug basket right now, it's a very valuable item, especially efficient for how much it costs.
I don't know if I would say so. That's the one thing about Drow Ranger, right? She kind of pierces through armor. So I guess he's just been so poor, so he's just, as you said, just trying to get anything going. Maybe a Glimmer Cape would be better, so it would be harder for the Primal to get on top of him.
Yeah. No, I'm just, you know, I'm out here trying to fight for these support items. You know, Solar Crest, I agree with you, is not the most impressive item these days. It had a stint where it was cheap and incredibly effective, and everyone bought it every game, even on offlaners. But ever since then, it's been a little bit more ignored, despite having a really nice build-up. Medallion gives a lot of what supports want in the early game.
Yeah. No, I mean,
not that useful of an active.
yeah. So now, so EG are just in a position now, right, where they get to farm way more, and they can just wait for Roche. So all the pressure is on Soniqs. And they really need to... Yeah, okay, so we get a little pause here. So they really need this Magnus to... I don't know, like that earlier fight, right? Because he does get the skewer on Primal Beast, but he needs to somehow land the RP. And they needed to burst the Primal before he got to pop BKB. Like, that was their only hope to win a fight there. But unfortunately, he like skewered him into creeps into Juggernaut, so he couldn't Omni Slash, and everything was just a bit awkward.
I mean, okay, so they've got to kill Abed basically using the Lash, right? Because I don't see another way. I don't know. I mean, maybe not with Scotty. There's a way that Jug, if he gets a solo Omni Slash, can get the job done, but this is such a tanky Primal Beast.
Oh yeah,
especially now he's got Shivas. Yeah, he's got so much armor. Uh-oh, Quinn. Well, there's going to be maybe a kill set up onto him. No arrow, but Fly is here to assist at least with a little bit more damage. But from the backs and diving here goes RTZ. He gets 2 kills just like that. Down goes Us. A third is well picked off as Evil Geniuses surround, dividing and conquering. The last to go here is going to be Yawa, who's bouncing around, and the Omni Slash comes out with the spin, but he's not going to last long here. Got a lot of move speed at least. Might be able to escape a bit more, but no. EG, they've got the mobility items, and they've got the advantage. It's going to be Soniqs who lose game 1 here to Evil Geniuses, who open up their TI group stage on a win. Just game 1.
Yeah. They did make it look easy.